Chill here with Sirius Talis Moon Venus Hour, and it's a good time to call on Spica and Procyon, because the ascendant is next to Spica. Venus is 10 degrees separating from Vendia Matrix, still conjoining Vendia Matrix, but in the middle decan of Libra. Now, midheaven ruled by the moon, moon 5 degrees Scorpio, separating from a square to Pluto. Vendia Matrix is about corrupt the business, what to do with women here, with Venus. And Venus has entered, it is Venus hour, Venus has entered the decan of Libra that balances the scales. And this we have to think 1 year, 1 year and a half, not year and a half, 1 year, 2 months, let's say. So that would be around August 2024. July, August 2024. Ooh. There was something that happened then to a lady regarding a business. But because of there was some corruption. Now, if this is a talisman business, it can be that some people were using the talisman in a way that is that caused harm, and but on a person that did not have. Let's say, how should I say that? Let's say there is a talisman, somebody used it to cause harm on people that did not do wrong. And it's actually interesting for me to see this because what is happening with this issue is that the business needed to find a way to resolve that. Okay, Jupiter Procyon, to make peace. And okay. Around August, July, August, maybe even September 2024. Okay, that is a certain business. There was certain corruption. Now, it doesn't mean the corruption stemming from the business. For example, I look at this and I say, I learned from that because I do not, for example, I make talismans, I don't sell them commercially. But simply because, it takes years to perfect, to refine, to learn how it works. So it's, okay, but it seems that somebody was using certain talismans against an innocent person. And until that innocent person will have time to defend themselves, crime against humanity was done. Now, because it's a nature of talisman, there can be an access to see the crime against humanity that was done and read the energy, but because they try to do something with the identities or something like that to mix the identities, um, it has to be worked in a way that something like fending the innocent and exposing for the original offenders, but to protect the crown chakra or something like that. Okay, I'm not an expert on how to do that from the business perspective, because it created a little bit of a cycle where that innocent person would be attacked, and the person in the business, and these are two ladies from what I see, either two ladies or the business has something to do with beauty, but I think it's two ladies. And one lady was attacked over nothing, and it not necessarily by purpose. And one lady maybe thought that that lady attacked, or I don't know what happened, but it's created cycle where one lady was going to psychic attack, the other lady was going to exact same psychic attack. Okay, it happened to me with Kitlin Kopuk. Somebody tried to make me fall, to knock me down when they were working on a sun talisman in August. And then that sun talisman, uh, okay, maybe during the work was fending for Kitlin, that somebody tried to attack her psychically in exact same fashion they attacked me. But Vendiametrics has to do with corruption in business. So it doesn't mean that the business is corrupt in that from that perspective. It means that somebody did a corruption with something to do with that business. And I had to run, and the due diligence was staying in my apartment. So there could be something with taxation as well. And now it's happening maybe to that lady. I don't know. Either it's a cycle where one lady was attacked and said, "Oh, Kathleen, okay, Kathleen Kopok, this is a specific message. Kathleen Kopok, if somebody tries to attack your breasts, if you're breastfeeding, and somebody try to make, sometimes they like pinching. I never breastfed, so I don't know. But if somebody tried to attack the breast or to uh, um, because we had similar. This is why I share this. We had similar attacks. So this is for a specific message for Caitlin Kopok of Sphere and Sundry. If somebody tries to attack your breasts, okay, then this is related to that cycle. There's somebody stole certain talismans of me of Sphere and Sundry, okay, and I reported that to Sphere and Sundry, okay. Would be either under D-Day, the previous Made to Love Magic account. Okay, Shirley Jungblut is basically my name, Shirley Tali Jungblut. And the previous apartment was Arad, more 19 on 7, more 19 on 2, the apartment 7 Arad. That was the previous real estate that was involved. Okay. And the psychic attack that was involved is trying to make me fall. That's one thing that I saw, to interfere in like this for my actions, or to make my dreams small, something like that. And now would attack the breasts. Other things could have been anything around um, fertility, birthing, relationship, being a mom, relation with the mom. Okay, specific message for Caitlin Kopok. And if any of the business was involved, check what the business invested in. Okay, check the 8th house. I have found Caitlin's 8th house. Check the 8th house. Check you're not invested in the gates thingy, okay, the vaccines thingy. Check you're not invested in pharmaceuticals to do with antipsychotics. Okay. Insurance per employees, I don't know. 8th house, I think, is more like the due diligence of the business. They try to target the due diligence of the business because they did that to me, and they're doing exactly the same attack. She has Rahu Moon next to my ascendant. If during breastfeeding feeling unusual pain in the chest or something that looks like something's been like a little stabs or something tried to cut or something like that, then that could be coming from the same source. Okay, in general, they're targeting women. That's the thing. And they're targeting mothers and housing. Okay, so and they try to use talisman Temamundi. They try to use talisman firewall of protection, but against the innocent. Oh, firewall of protection. I think I said this in, commented this to Austin in under the talisman. There's the topic of the sovereign girl and also sovereign baby girl. Okay, but also if talisman of trespassing is used against innocent people that defend themselves from human trafficking, is something to be tended to in the business because it's going to continue to cause troubles. You see? What is yes. For Kathleen, it is third house. Third house is the business. To protect the business from, I bless the business to be free of MK Ultra. Also, place now, I bless the business to be free of MK often. To not work for MK often, to not have anything to do with MK often, any such similar project, to not have the talismans be used to target individuals. Okay, so I can, from my perspective, client perspective, bless the business regarding that. And this is okay to check because this is how should I say that? Yeah. I tell you what, yes. The ruler of my ascendant, yes, is in the third house. So basically I would feel on my body and Caitlin has Rahu Moon on my ascendant. So I would feel on me the attacks that Caitlin is going through. Okay? And this the firewall of protection, okay, for it to protect the business, it cannot be used against people. It cannot be used by MK often to evacuate people from housing without them having housing solutions, or God forbid to traffic them in housing. Okay, it cannot be used for that. Somebody tried to use it for that. Then this would cause problems in the business. It will cause problems in the boundary setting in the business. Okay, it's a talismanic business, so you got the CIA eyes on that, you got intelligence eyes on that, you got secret societies eyes on that. Cannot work against humanity. And when you set the boundaries to the business, because for Kathleen is third house, when you set the boundaries to the business, then you will see that you begin to fend from the targeted individual project, and those projects begin to be declassified. It already happened, and begin to be exposed. How should I say that? Um, of course, never to accept any offer from MK often. This goes without saying. I think Etlin is smart enough to know what the karmas of doing such things could be. Okay, it's a crime against humanity. It's, woman, man, it's not. But I also learned from that because I see what it entailed to do. Okay, and but to protect the business is to protect them from MK often, using that to target individuals and to harm people's housing. Um, Naturally, yes, I always give full 100% credit to the person that they're not corrupt, that the business is not corrupt, that if any corruption happens, not by intent of the business. Naturally, if anything is not so, then then don't summon Archangel Michael. Like, but if that business indeed completely like not corrupt, not dabbling into whatever, then this would defend the business from MK often, but having to address the people that target individuals, particularly when it comes to housing, and this talisman would need to protect the Second Amendment in United States, okay, and also for countries affected by United States economic hitmanship. Okay, because trespassing cannot be turned against the innocent. If somebody doesn't have housing, okay, the trespassing are those that are the reasons with the fact that they don't have housing. If somebody targeted them to not be able to work, to not be able to this, to not be able to that, okay, and I think for Kathleen, she must be dealing now with that. The attempts to take her sanity, to take her this, to take that, to try to make her sick, because I would be dealing with that soon after Kathleen would be dealing with that, okay, or the other way around. But at any case, okay, it's not those things, not type of thing that works with MK often. It has to fend against for the global agenda of MK often, which is to depopulate, to harm women, to okay. It's not something that we can't go Switzerland on that because I don't market my talismans currently, and for me, I learned from that because anybody that makes a talisman business or protective, okay, if the protection is active, okay, like the firewall of protection, and this would then amalgamate the talisman that they try to steal, okay, for me, must make sure is not used to target individuals, because you can't go Switzerland on that. It's the rules, okay. Um, you can defend yourself like in court, but not in the divine court. Okay, in the divine court, you will have to make sure that nothing that you or add, if it is mantra or whatnot, I will add this myself. And nothing that I had this when before, when I just picked a Moldavite and I saw things to do with Egypt and magic and so on. And that said, only used for this, only in benefit of humanity. Okay, even when I say something like global total nuclear holocaust, when it comes to children being ritually abused perpetually, okay, with those things, abused for the endocrine and so on and so forth, on the global scale, is preferred for nobody to suffer, even for people, for humanity to not exist, is better for humanity than to exist like that. Okay, so I never would target individual for to suffer, or never. So yes, I have. We both have placements on the Galactic Center. So um, I took basically I set intention before I studied anything to do with those things, but only in benefit of myself and humanity. And some people work from different perspective, with the headless right or whatnot, and different traditions is okay to have different traditions. And it's okay to say people like, yes, I don't tell you what to do with your magic and so on and so forth. All of this is true. When we talk in MK, often we're talking crimes against humanity, targeting innocent people. Okay, that's a different sphere of things. And also on divine court or whatnot, um, then okay, some way of within one's own lineage of magic to address those things, um, and because what would happen is that if I'm being attacked in a certain way, I fend for myself. Then if somebody used, let's say, talisman to attack me, okay, and this talisman is belonging to some company, can hurt with the people in the company, okay, and it's not because I hurt the people in the company, it's because somebody targeted me. Using that talisman, I fend for the attack. So that can affect, or they could be targeting both. Okay, again, I'm being very cautious, but I also address all the possible things, not to scare, not to condemn, but also, but actually to find point of interference where, oh, yeah, okay, to find a point of interference to correct the wrongs. It can't work for things against individuals. Okay, and I mean for the individuals that did, okay, nothing wrong. Definitely not to harm the housing of individuals or the related, like those things of MK often they do. Yes, because with this protection of this Capricorn, it is okay. It is to address the topic at hand. This is what I see for this Venus and a Mercury. Mercury's cold case is something that is, or it can be a cold business, but it's something that already, okay, but this is something that already happened before. So other than this type of, okay, this, other than this specific message, Sun is approaching the square to Libra. Okay, I hope I made myself clear. Okay, there are things when one can say, there are things when one can go Switzerland. Crimes against humanity is no, okay. Um, and it's coming from taking steps to defend the business. It begins to show up. Okay, what is the root of the things that happen? Um, if something was involved there, what to do with 7th of October? Okay, the rituals that they did, cutting women's breasts and so on and so forth. Um, okay. I see what it is. What the occult practices, they use the Nazi occultism, okay? And Aleister Crowley is sometimes also an inspiration to people, but they have to sort the wheat from the muck. And it's the process of sorting the wheat from the muck regarding what type of occult practices are used and to make sure of what is their side effect. And it's okay. I mean, Caitlin is just studying that topic. Um, yes, I also did the Talisman of the Bisextile. Okay, there's many things that if we don't know, I had topics at hand. I discovered about the Gladio operation, and I addressed with the MK Ultra, the MK Often. Okay, those relevant things that to abolish those things. Okay. Um, mm. But this is, I want to say the good thing, the really, really good thing. Those businesses that felt they are powerless in the face of the classified projects stop being powerless in the face of the classified projects, okay? Which means that they can begin to fend for the targeted individuals and for housing first, not the American way, the Finnish way, okay? Housing first, independently of ability to work, okay, for indefinite time. Now, each person have like their own vision or their own thing. I'm not, uh, okay. It's just that they will need to fend for and assist in bringing the lifelong compensation for the survivors of the global economic hitmanship to do with MK often. Okay. For example, I broadcast from Israel. Okay, I did a basic style talisman in Israel. I cannot fend Israel's crime against humanity or involvement in crime against humanity, both in others. I can assist in, okay, if let's say better per se, okay, if I see attempt to, let's say, assassinate Benjamin Netanyahu, then I can assist in showing how the targeted individual project creates political assassination and tag, okay, office of prime minister, so that they see that if they have life at risk, this is the budget, okay, for that they should attend to, but to correct the threat against them, Benjamin Netanyahu will have to assist in bringing full for the people that got hurt by classified project, okay, regarding this case. Because basically we are the people that said, no, we will not assassinate a person. If there is something to do with the structure where each prime minister gets the tapes of da 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 da, then the structure needs to be exposed per every prime minister. Otherwise, those that do those things get themselves entangled in all kinds of dumbfuckery. What's more? Um, yes, any practitioners that are affiliated with actively targeting a person, an individual, but that individual is innocent, and they should know if you get classified projects budget to target someone, that someone is either innocent or is the most innocent of the link, even if that someone is marked Dutro. Okay. When he was arrested, he was going full mode. Like he was saying that he wanted to snitch on everyone. That would knock down some worldly regimes. That is to wealth consolidation. No ritual abuse should be partaken in wealth consolidation. This is not just for a specific message anymore, it's general. No wealth consolidation cannot be done by ritual abuse, including peace talks. Because, yes, what were the implications for Kennedy? We know. He wanted to prevent a bigger Holocaust, but for the ritual abuse that he allowed, then now, of course, they, from the point of the ones that planned the assassination, they wanted him to not to tackle to the wealth consolidation, because if he tackles the prevention of world wars, who knows what this guy can do? But there could be other things where that supposed world peace could have created, okay, certain unities that we deal with still today, in regards to the trafficking stuff. And if that was the case, then we understand what what was the price of that supposed peace. And again, I'm not saying, I'm not accusing, like, I don't know what went there. But I said the Chupi Procyon is going to turn retrograde on Procyon, which is going to target the peace talks to be actually peaceful and increase all the issues around. And the topic of wealth consolidation is coming to the forefront. Um, Families that consolidated wealth Okay, by using by things that Anneke Lucas is a survivor of. The businesses, even if there were talismans that were involved with that, third decan of Capricorn, Austin. Okay. No, when we address the sovereign coin, the sovereign throne, the this, the that. Okay. I talked about the Bilderberg Mason. Okay. But the real estate in Arnhem, but also for the chart of the first meeting, there's a Chiron on the decan of the last decan of Capricorn. Okay. So Chiron is a wound around. And in that case is wealth consolidation. And the currency, rituals around issuing of currency. And their sexual wounds, their attempts to use their sexual energy in malefic ways. The underneath gloved hand type of thing, okay? Then the other talisman of the defense is supposed to fend against the type of practices that are done around wealth consolidation, okay? So I don't know what was the intention of Austin. Anyway, this is what he got himself into by doing that. um, and yes, that's life. People want to get into the core of the core of the core of world affairs. They have to clear the offenses and the crimes against humanity that are done under the guise of world affairs. This will definitely assist in creating a more stable foundation for the currency of the dollar, for example. Um, when one gets himself into talismans to do with banking, then they have to fend against the crimes that banks do. That absolutely they cannot participate, that's for sure. And if there were things the target individuals using that talisman, which was the case, okay, and I addressed that in Rockefeller Astrolax and Jupiter Point of Talisman Beachwood. Then okay, and it has to target the core of the issue, not just the visibles. The people underneath closed hand get caught red-handed. That's the thing, particularly around the rituals around wealth consolidations, issuing of currency. And again, I will never get to think about this talisman. I'm not particularly, unless it was used against me. And I'm the type of person who gives a full credit, okay, for the person saying that this person is not corrupt, was doing a talisman, they didn't know what they're summoning. And if this is not the case, then that's on them. If this is the case, then I don't accuse somebody. Okay, I don't throw out accusations in here. I throw out possibilities and points of interferences and implications. Okay, those things are crimes against humanity. It's not blue collar, white collar. It's Eichmann. And it doesn't matter if it's underneath gloved hand or if it's done by talisman or if, okay, to make that incredibly clear. So whoever used this talisman to target me, for example, a civilian, try to traffic to this, to that, crime against humanity. Targeting individuals is crime against humanity. Other than the fact that they were putting themselves in a lot of harm, any such thing, but those that try to use yes, such a talisman. I know for Austin it worked well. They stopped smoking because it has tobacco, but the healthy way of tobacco. So um, and that can reading one of addiction is reading one of mafia, whether it's government or not. Okay, so now it's understandable why a person that summoned this deacon, okay, and now they have to fend for something that this connected to, which is the Bilderberg group. Okay, the third deacon of Capricorn, they have a Chiron there. Any type of wealth consolidation, so this means oil company, banking companies. Okay, it's one megalithic of a somebody has Pluto in their 8th house. They're just standing in the power of having to fend themselves against the Aleister Crowley of the Nazis. And I have it in the 12th house, which is in general, okay, I tend to the people that got themselves in political incarceration. Target individuals is a form of political incarceration, but this time it's against civilians. So political prisoner can be a person that is not a civilian, just civilian, but my status is civilian, and it's crime against humanity against civilians. So. An 8th house could be also one's investment, but here it can be occult. And Pluto is out of bounds. um, yeah, people don't like, but here is case where if I didn't get into that type of information openly, there would be World War. Like communication is the way to sort it out, and this is a public thing because we're talking about the classified projects and what they are funneled for. Now here's the thing. If somebody did something personal and got themselves entangled in this global thing, what can I say? But it got all the way to tending to who does the wealth consolidation, that's what I'm saying. Um, buro, buro, the buro. Yes, it's a public, it's a public interest type of topic. The occult used by the buro. Because if the buro is targeting individuals to dehouse them, to cause them ailments, to do ritual abuse like in 7th of October, then those are crimes against humanity. Those are crimes against humanity. If it's by the buro, then it's by the buro. Then the buro will have to... that's life. You know, those things, and I talked about this year being kind of like 1995. And what happened in 1995? One, the head of NATO had to resign. I don't know why, but Bill Clinton, that also was found around Epstein and something to do with cloning. Bill Clinton addressed publicly cloning and gave word to the public to defund MK Ultra, the syphilis, addressed the syphilis compensation for the MK Ultra, compensation for the syphilis. Now we're getting that with the MK Often. MK Often was declassified by CIA. Full lifelong compensations for the targeted individuals by current MK Often. Anybody that summons a worldly wealth consolidation need to be considered. Okay, that's to be considered. That's how these things get considered. Is that they're being discussed, and that the people that try to work underneath gloved hand to sacrifice we the people to Nazi agenda of harming women and people with disability. Now again, if I make a certain, if there's certain things that somebody says, okay, it's not like that, state your case. Now, if somebody tries to defend themselves by targeting an individual, you understand that they are taking the wrong road. They can't shift the blame either. Any case, they should have made sure that this particular broadcasting individual is unharmed, but with Midheaven on the Galactic Center, it seems that to make sure that this is so, they would have to decolonize. They would have to let go of a lot of corruption and clear megalithic cleansing of the actions against targeted individuals worldwide, or ritual abuse, or ritual sacrifice, any such thing. Because they need to tend to the core issue. That's what's happened. They should not have targeted this particular individual, is what I'm saying. Because whatever would happen from now on, this thing is going to get... I have Neptune next to my midheaven. You know? Water expands upon cooling. This would be something that would, any harm that's done to me will haunt the people that do that harm for centuries. You understand that Neptune is Saturn sign. The Neptune Capricorns are beginning to go into the Neptune square. Falcon, beware. Some of us have it in the 10th house, next to ascendants, next to midheaven. Our cases will haunt history for centuries. And with Neptune, it's a message in a bottle. You don't know what, you don't know when. It's when people, it's the right time. Sometimes it goes by, a bottle's been swept to the sea. There's a message in that bottle. It looks cryptic. And then it becomes looking into that cryptic mystery. And that mystery unfolds. Those who thought to get away, okay, for that type of thing. Like, here's the thing with the Neptune. Neptune with heaven, Neptune ascendant, as Nikolai Stoyanovich said, those are people that sometimes people think they didn't. But Neptune tends to make something mythical. Where's Neptune? It's about to go into Pisces. I think by tomorrow it is in Pisces. This is why we have this. There was this new moon. I have to see. Yes, by tomorrow it is in Pisces. Now, let me see. Today is going to Pisces. Oh my God, it's in a couple of hours. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Ooh. This is my childhood salad. I can't believe it. No, no, no. That they see for other ways. Oh, wait a second. This is. Wait a second. 3 hours back. I'm going to get to the to the point when it does happen. Oh, okay. It's around. Okay. Close. Aha. Somewhere between 12:30. Okay. We're almost there. So, okay. Yes, darling. Mm-hmm. Yeah. She's very talkative because she smells food, but she's smart. She plays with something. She's excavating. You found something interesting. Um, anyway, the folks that try to get away with doing things to humanity that are of those rituals, They do not get away with that. I get mad with the big money ads. And if the big money got big money by doing the true, then this problem. You see, it's very simple because a person like me is gonna need housing, is gonna need food, is gonna need to be safe and free. And to solve my own issues, if that is affecting my ability or accessibility to have housing that is safe and free in spirit and in matter, this is problem. If people try to traffic people and have them not being able to live in a house unless they are doing crime, this is a problem. It's gonna cause a currency collapse, but they won't be able to establish a currency on this basis. And we already deserve lifelong compensation, which means estates, land, ability to not have to work a single day in our lives, even if we live to 100, and good health and good joy of living with that longevity. That's the compensations for crimes against humanity. They were doing the crimes to try to gain these resources on the account and trying to attack the light. It's not just killing people. If they would, I don't know, cause people to fall asleep and then for them to be dead, I say it's crime against humanity. But is whoever survived gets a shilumim, okay? That's not what they did. And I'll leave it at that.